time is an illusion. It doesn't exist. Once you understand that you are the source of everything and that time is an illusion, that you are the creator and creation is finished, you will collapse the time between now and when your desire manifests. Everything is here and now in different states. Listen to what I am saying. Really listen to what I am saying. Do not doom scroll or whatever the other bullshit that other people do on TikTok. Pay close attention to what I'm going to tell you. It's the most important thing that anyone has ever told you. Everything you desire to experience is here and now. It exists in different states of visibility or invisibility. And what makes it visible or invisible to you is the frequency and vibration that you are embodying. Your knowledge of who you are, and not as an identity, but as the creator. The more you understand yourself as the creator, the more those things that are invisible that you desire to experience that are all here now will become visible to you. Don't ever forget what I just told you. This requires a complete paradigm shift for the way that you have been brainwashed. Okay, well, everything I'm teaching you is the exact opposite of everything you've been brainwashed to believe is true.
That's true. It's 100% true. In public schools here in America, they just teach you how to follow orders, how to kind of work in like a production line, how to do things exactly the way that they think you should be doing them. It's really just up to us to seek more knowledge and seek out other avenues of how to live life, how to grow, how to flourish, how to ascend, I guess, mentally and spiritually. I mean, physically and emotionally as well, into a better version of ourselves and outside of the box that society works so hard to keep us in.
Really? So many people have been requesting this. I've shown you Circuit City. I've shown you Hometown Buffet, places that have been closed for years. None are standing. And now I'm going to go to Toys R Us. None of them exist. There's none in existence. Let me show you something. This is going to blow your freaking mind. There it is, guys. Right there. Toys R Us. I'm on my way. Toys R Us, baby. We're going. I'm about to go inside. I'm going to try to be very discreet because it is 2005. Guys, I'm here in Toys R Us. How do you deny this? I mean, guys, this is the real deal. There are no more Toys R Us. I'm in 2005 right now, guys. How much more proof do you guys need? I mean, is this not enough proof, guys? Come on.
Okay, how do you think these people do this? Like, I was trying to pay attention to the video and look to see what kind of toys were being sold, right? And kind of like make a decision based off that, because I know that in a lot of cases there's like one location left for all these stores that closed down, right? Like there's like one Blockbuster Video left somewhere in like Alaska or something weird like that. I think there's like one Radio Shack left. I think there's maybe a KB Toys somewhere. I know there's a KB Toys in I want to say like Thailand or something. I don't know. Like my friend's traveling right now and just posted a video on her stories of being at a KB Toys, not in America but somewhere else. Maybe that's how they're doing it. But back to my original point and looking, trying to see, because he looked like he was being very careful at what toys he was showing were being sold, right? Like if he just went to the toy aisle and like went to like the Ninja Turtles section or like the wrestlers or something that I would like be familiar with, who was around that time in 2005, be able to judge. But then I have to think, like, do these retro stores that stay open, do they keep the things they sell retro too, to kind of feed the nostalgia of the people actually going out of the way to visit this single location? So I don't know, because I just looked and I saw Peppa Pig and he says in 2005 and I saw that show came out in 2004. So I'm like, okay, so in that sense it makes sense that toy would be sold at that time. But I couldn't really make out any other toys in the background. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. I don't know how these guys do this stuff outside of just seeking out locations that are still open somewhere in the world. But that sounds expensive for a TikTok video.
What if I told you theme parks aren't built for entertainment, but to harvest human emotional energy for something far darker? Insiders claim these parks were designed with precision, engineered layouts based on ancient energy harvesting geometry, a concept known as ley grid amplification. Hidden beneath the parks are alleged emotion siphoning infrastructures, massive underground complexes powered by psychological energy extraction systems. The rides, parades, and fireworks aren't just for fun. They're engineered to heighten emotions like joy, fear, and nostalgia, creating a spike in human bioelectric energy. This emotional output is absorbed through high-frequency transmission nodes, disguised as park decorations, towers, and even castle spires. Former employees have spoken of restricted off-limits zones where data servers allegedly monitor emotional throughput. I'm going to go ahead and say,
I don't know, dude. After watching Monsters, Inc. and learning about adrenochrome and stuff, that's literally the first thing I think about when I think of like emotional harvesting. I can't think of anything else. I'm just kind of, yeah, sure, that makes sense. I'm for it. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Kind of without questioning at this point. I don't know, like every theme park is like that. I mean, I know that there's people being monitored, there's things being monitored, there's how people are reacting, what they're buying and stuff is being monitored in order to optimize the theme park for profit. Clearly, obviously, that it's a business. That's what they're doing. Now, harvesting emotions, I don't know. I don't know if like Six Flags, Great America, or Disney World are harvesting emotions. Disney, maybe. Maybe Disney. But like Cedar Point or Busch Gardens or Six Flags or any of the other ones I've been to, probably not, dude. Probably not. They want to make sure people are having the best time possible, so they keep coming back and spending the most money that they can at the place.
Sphinx at some point in its history was exposed to more than 1,000 years of extremely heavy rainfall. Looking at the erosion patterns, you can see these deep vertical fissures and a kind of scalloped rounded profile, and that is classic rainfall-induced weathering. And the bottom line is, such rains do not fall in the Giza Plateau today. They did not fall in the Giza Plateau 5,000 years ago, but they did fall on the Giza Plateau if you go back 12,000 years. That was the time when the Sahara Desert was green.
The trilithon stones. 3 stones, 900 tons apiece, or 800 metric tons, and they were moved a half a mile from the quarry. They were lifted and stacked approximately 30 feet off the ground. And when I say stacked, they were perfectly lined up. This is at the quarry, which is a half mile away. This is where all the stones originate from. And this one right here is what's called the Stone of the Pregnant Woman. It is 1,200 tons. As you can see, it's 14 feet tall. So with those trilithon stones I was showing you a moment ago, the only difference is that this one's 68 feet long. It's virtually the same size, except for just a few feet shorter, but it's the same height.
1,200 tons.
Insane.
Right.
So they
Yes.
moved 1,800,000 pounds a half a mile.
3 of them. And that doesn't include the 2 dozen that are 350 tons apiece. That doesn't include the 9 that are 600 tons apiece, are somehow a side note to the trilithon stones. Baalbek has the largest stones that were ever quarried in human history, the largest stones that were lifted, stacked, and transported in human history, and the largest stone columns in all of classical history.
That is fucking nuts, dude. I don't know how they do that. I know there's like the Coral Castle here in Florida. They talk about basically the guy did it all himself as basically a tribute to a woman that he loved that lived overseas, to try to create this like huge just castle made out of like heavy blocks. Is there blocks of coral? I don't know. It's heavy shit. And he said to create it himself, and he said that he created it using ancient Egyptian levitation technology that he figured out, but he didn't share that. Like no one knows how he did it, but it's still there. You can go check it out.
October 1954, we mastered gravity control.
Who mastered it?
The Covert programs in the United States aerospace. If you look at a film that we released a couple years ago called The Lost Century, it kind of unpacks all this as a documentary. And so there were experiments with very high voltage systems that called an electrogravitic effect, where things would lift, right? And that was in the 20s. That was 28, 29. It was replicated in Germany in the Kautsky-Frost experiment. We have a physics journal. We show that in the film. Imagine those early experiments with so-called anti-gravity.
Okay.
Not a good term, but Bose used a pop culture term. It's actually electrogravitics and electrogravitic field propulsion. But so what happened is that research combined with a augmentation of that research, a big leap forward by studying the extraterrestrial vehicles that we downed in the mid-40s and 50s. So by the time those two streams combined into a mighty river of research, but it was covert. As I was referring to that Wilbur Smith document, it's the most secret. And he said this is the most secret operation in the United States, exceeding the secrecy of the hydrogen bomb research. Now, this is 1950, before we detonated the first atomic hydrogen bomb. So imagine something more classified and secret than the H-bomb, the ultimate doomsday weapon. That's this stuff. Those big aerospace companies, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Skunk Works, and now Raytheon, EG&G, way back then, and others, they got the portfolio for their special projects to study this material, figure out how it worked, and then apply it. So by 1954, we had operational gravity control.
The theory goes that parasites are actually demons.
Parasites. Kinda, yeah.
Check this.
They go into your body and fuck everything up.
Parasites are what the demons are. In the Bible, what does it say to release demons? What must you do?
What?
You must pray and what? And fast. Why fast?
Oh, so there's nothing else coming in your body.
Yeah. So the parasites
Don't
can't thrive.
multiply.
Bro.
Yeah, they don't
Parasites
multiply.
can't thrive. Now, what do parasites do that demons are likely to do too? Parasites, they change your mood. They change your behavior. They make you crave bad food. They make you do bad behavior.
True.
And they get you stuck in almost like a frequency that makes you worse and worse and worse. Parasites. What do demons do? The same thing. They change your mentality, they change your mood. They almost change your whole character.
Yeah.
What's the only way to take them out? Like they said in the Bible, pray
yeah.
and fast. Fast, fam. I never really understood fasting until now. Because that's literally your body.
Yep.
That's everything that's inside of it. So you can imagine if the bad stuff for us, the tempting stuff is the sweets, the sugars. That stuff is tempting, bro. Like
You're gonna fast so it never comes in your body.
And those stuff, like if the parasite keeps thriving on it, that's why we're so addicted to that stuff. Because the parasite is making us want it more. That's how they survive. They literally survive off sugars.
Yeah.
Damn. If you look at microscopic images of a parasite, they look like monsters.
Low-key.
They look like plenty of teeth type shit.
Dude,
that's what demons look like. So what if when you have nightmares of demons, that's actually a parasite just expanded? Yeah.
When you die, your spirit is given a form of amnesia through an ancient technology. It's like when a fly is attracted to the light. You're then reincarnated again on Earth, forgetting your past lives.
You're telling me Earth is a prison, and we're here against our will.
It is my conviction that all sentient beings are immortal spiritual beings. For accuracy and simplicity, I will use a made-up word, is-be. This term reflects the primary nature of an immortal being, which exists in a timeless state of is, and whose existence arises solely from their decision to be. Regardless of their position in society, every is-be deserves the same respect and treatment that I would wish to receive myself. Each person on Earth remains an is-be, whether they are aware of it or not. The unusual combination of inmates on Earth, criminals, perverts, artists, revolutionaries, and geniuses, creates a highly restless and tumultuous environment. The purpose of this prison planet is to permanently confine spirits on Earth, promoting ignorance, superstition, and conflict among these spirits helps to keep the prison population weakened and trapped behind a wall of electronic force screens. Spirits have been deposited on Earth from across the galaxy, adjoining galaxies, and planetary systems throughout the old empire. On Earth, there are spirits from unnamed races, civilizations, cultural backgrounds, and planetary environments. Each distinct is-be population has its own languages, belief systems, moral standards, religious beliefs, training, and hidden, untold histories.
I was just talking to a friend last night about how crazy it is that the same stories, the same kind of structures, the same, hieroglyphs, all that stuff has been shared across the entire world at a time when supposedly we were landlocked because we weren't able to travel those distances. It would be like impossible basically for people to travel that far, like all around the world back at the time when these drawings and these sculptures and these structures were created or shared or recorded. Kind of makes me, I don't know, man. I love simulation theory. This is another part of the conversation we were having last night. It's just like, if it were a simulation, then all that information would be there from the start, everywhere. Everyone would have access to it. So maybe if we are in a prison planet to where we're just basically being repopulated with recycled knowledge, recycled code, then that knowledge, those stories, the know-how to create those structures would already be there from the start. So everybody, not everybody, but everywhere, a certain amount of people everywhere would have the ability to access that information somehow and apply it. It's weird to me. Makes my brain go in circles.
There's something deeply wrong with reality. You can feel it, can't you? The air tastes different, like a memory instead of a sensation. The sky doesn't look real anymore, like a projection flickering between dimensions. Time itself feels broken, days blur, events repeat. History rewrites itself while no one notices. What if we've already died? What if this isn't life but the afterlife? What if the world ended a long time ago and we just never woke up? Every ancient culture, every religion, every prophecy speaks of the same thing. A world that was once real but was shattered, corrupted, or lost. The Bible calls it the fall, when mankind was cast from paradise into a false reality of pain, suffering, and endless cycles. The Gnostics called it the Demiurge's kingdom, a prison designed to keep souls trapped in material illusion, unable to return to the source. The Tibetan Book of the Dead warns of the fake light, a trick at the moment of death, where souls are deceived into reincarnating instead of escaping. The Mayans believed we exist in the Fifth Age, a recycled version of the world rebuilt after previous realities were destroyed. So what if we already died and someone keeps bringing us back? What if Earth isn't a planet but a machine? A soul harvesting system running on loops of recycled consciousness? And what if the real war isn't between nations, but between those who want to keep us trapped and those trying to wake us up? They flood our minds with conflict, devices, and illusions of choice. They pacify us with scripted ideologies, stage power struggles, and a system designed to keep us chasing shadows. But the greatest deception, they've erased our memory. Time is an illusion. They go by many names. The Anunnaki in Sumerian texts, the gods who descended from the sky to rule humanity, the Nephilim of the Bible, the hybrid offspring of fallen angels and mortal women, wiped out by the Great Flood, the Watchers in the Book of Enoch, divine beings who weren't supposed to interfere, but instead gave humans forbidden knowledge, the Archons of Gnostic belief, parasitic entities who feed on human suffering, trapping souls in an endless cycle of birth, death, and forgetfulness. What if these beings aren't gods at all, but architects of the prison? What if they created time itself, a looped construct that keeps us reliving the same cycle over and over? What if death isn't an escape, but a reset button, forcing us back into the system? Something broke. The Mandela effect. Collective memories of a history that no longer exists. Deja vu, echoes of past lives, fragments of a memory trying to resurface. Time slips, people vanishing, then returning with impossible knowledge. CERN and the Large Hadron Collider, are they accidentally shifting us between realities or trying to punch through the walls of the prison? Time was never meant to flow this way, not in a straight line, not in cycles that erase everything before them. What if the reason we feel like the world is ending is because it already did, and we've just been stuck here, reliving the collapse on repeat? The governments of the world are preparing us for alien disclosure. But what if the beings they are about to introduce aren't aliens at all? What if the extraterrestrials are the Nephilim, the Anunnaki, the Watchers, returning under a new disguise? What if they claim to have created us? What if they offer ascension, eternal life, or merging with AI, or to trap us in a new kind of prison? The Book of Revelation warns, "For false Christs and false prophets shall arise and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible they shall deceive even the very elect." Matthew 24:24. If this is a prison, there must be a way out. Some say lucid dreaming is the key, a way to break free from the scripted illusions of this reality. Some say prophetic dreams are warnings, messages from beyond the simulation telling us how to escape. Some say the demons in sleep paralysis aren't hallucinations, but prison guards keeping us from leaving the dream. And then there's Jesus. He spoke of a kingdom not of this world. He cast out demons, beings that seemed obsessed with controlling human bodies. He defied death, shattering the very cycle that keeps us trapped. Is this why the rulers of this world fear his name? Because he was the first to escape, and they don't want us to follow. People are waking up, the illusion is breaking down, and those who created the trap are desperate to keep it running. That's why. AI is being pushed because a digital reality is even harder to escape. CERN is still searching because they know the prison is collapsing. History keeps changing because they are rewriting the script, trying to patch the holes. But we are remembering, we are seeing the glitches, we are feeling the wrongness of time, we are recognizing the lies, because the final question is coming. When the illusion crumbles, when the architects of this world reveal themselves, when the choice is laid before you, will you believe the lie and remain in the trap? Or will you remember who you really are and break free? Because the exit has always been there, but you have to be willing to see it.
Bro, what if, like, the governments know that we're in a prison? Because, I mean, obviously they're in, like, contact with the aliens, if anybody is, right? The world leaders, world governments. And what if, like, CERN is them trying to break us out? And what if shooting rockets up, trying to break through the firmament is us trying to escape? And just, that's, like, what they're doing. Like, as far as, like, exploration, just trying to escape the prison because they know that we're in one. But at the same time, there are other people that are in power that would be helping to, like, keep us in here. You figure, like, fluoride in the water, AI, you know, VR, entertainment, you know, with propaganda and things to basically, like, keep us distracted so we don't ascend intellectually, spiritually. It makes you think, if there are people that are actually, like, influential and in power that are both good and bad, like, how do we see between the two? You know, how do we look between like an Elon Musk or a George Soros, a Donald Trump or a Joe Biden? You could choose whichever one of those examples is the good one and the bad one. I'm not getting into politics here. I'm just trying to say, like, you know, there's two sides to every coin. And when you break it down, does each side represent complete good or complete bad? Or are both of them two sides of the same coin? Are they both working to keep us here in different ways? Are they both trying to escape for their own well-being and leave us behind? Who's to say? But I like the idea of Jesus being the first one to escape and try to basically enlighten us. But then you could also look at it as the serpent in the Garden of Eden being the one trying to enlighten and help us escape too. Because in my mind, the Garden of Eden is a place where we were supposed to be kept ignorant and dumb and naked and blind, you know, living a life of servitude. And then we got reprimanded when we decided to think for ourselves and act for ourselves and seek knowledge beyond what we were being told. So in that aspect, you know, gaining knowledge isn't always a good thing, quote unquote. It just depends where that knowledge comes from and the motive behind the sharing of that knowledge. So I don't know. You have to figure that out for yourself. Think for yourself, as you should always think for yourself. Explore for yourself, gain knowledge and insight for yourself, and keep an open mind and be open to the possibility of everything being good and bad. But that's it for today's video, guys. Thanks so much. Like, share, subscribe. If you like the video, comment below what you want to see in the next one. Until next time, peace.